Hi, in this video, I want to show how to properly attach or add a missing mother. Some things to consider as we're doing so. So looking at this family, here we have an existing father in the tree and a missing mother on this side, which the census is giving us the name and date of this missing mother. So one thing to consider is that looking at the census, obviously the last name is her married name and not her maiden name. And so when we do click to add her in, uh, Family Search is going to go out and see if it finds a match anywhere. And so we have two of these, which have a seeming maiden name listed here with the proper Lenhard Schur as the married name. So I would Hi, in this video, I want to show you how to properly add a missing mother and some considerations as we're doing so. So here we have a focus person with a listed father, but missing a mother. And so as we click add to attach Frederica over, we see that Family Search has found two possible existing Frederiques in the tree. Both with a very similar maiden name rather than the maiden name that's listed in the census. So here we would do our due diligence. It looks like these are all three merges that need to happen. But we would do our due diligence, go take a look at those, happen to merge these and everything. But the one thing to consider as we're adding these over is we want to properly use the maiden name instead of a married name when attaching a census. And so let's take a look at another example. Here, again, we have one single focus person with an existing father, and it looks like a different relationship here with a question mark as a mother. And so as we do add this one over, Family Search was not able to find anyone that matched that, and so it wants to create a new person here. But what we're going to do is just take off the last name. We want to use maiden names here instead of married names. And so we're going to create that person in the tree and add that information over. And I'll go ahead and attach all of the rest of these in a second. So on to our next example. Here we have a family with a new mother to add over. And so this one is interesting because it could have the father's married name. It could have the mother's maiden name, or it it could in some cases have the actual person's maiden name listed here if the person okay, so say for example this Mary was previously married, so she had multiple husbands. We don't know which name this is for sure. If it was a first marriage, second marriage, if it was a maiden name, there's a variety of different possibilities. So in this case, I would go take a look at the image just real quick, look her up on the census. And here we have this Mary Lapse, and it lists her as a mother. And so one thing that I like to do just really quick, some census takers distinguish a mother from a mother-in-law, some don't. But here, often you can get a good glimpse. If it does list it as a mother-in-law, then you know you've hit the jackpot, and that the lapse would be the maiden name of Gusta or Gusty here. So in this case, I would leave that name intact as we're adding it over. I wouldn't delete that name. That will serve for future research purposes as we're looking into Mary. And so we're going to go ahead and create that person with the last name of Lapse here. And let the computer do the rest. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the rest of these over. And yes, so that's kind of three different ways to, three different examples of looking at how to add a missing mother and some things to consider as you're doing so.